We get sober, not perfect. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am alcoholic. Today, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. You come into the rooms of recovery and you hear this great saying, one of my favorite sayings, actually. The good news about recovery is you get your emotions back. The bad news about recovery is you get your emotions back. Where does that come from? What the hell does that even mean? Well, we got to look at it in a historical context. I'm a history guy, right? I spent years and years and years never feeling adequate, never feeling good enough, never feeling sufficient, not knowing how to love myself. I didn't love myself. And so because I felt all these emotions that I didn't want to feel, I would suppress them by pouring booze down my throat. You may have experienced the same thing, maybe not booze down your throat, but maybe you put drugs into your system, all because you didn't want to feel those emotions. And over time, well, hell, we forgot how to deal with those negative emotions. Sure, there were times maybe you wanted to celebrate the good emotions. Maybe your team won the big game. Maybe you got promoted at work. Maybe you got a pay raise. We wanted to celebrate those good times, those good emotions. But man, when it came to the bad times, the bad emotions, we would just suppress them. And so over time, like I said, we forgot how to cope and how to deal with those emotions. When we come into the rooms of recovery, I like to say this, I've said this for forever now. When I came into the rooms of recovery, I accepted an implied acceptance, I should say, accepting responsibility that I'm going to learn to deal with all of my emotions. I don't get to pick and choose. See, when we were in the madness, we wanted to pick and choose which emotions we were going to feel. When we get sober, we still have this idea, I can still pick and choose the emotions. No, we don't get to pick and choose those emotions. It's unfortunate. It's terrible. Sure, there are times that maybe my team won the big game. I got that job promotion, like I was saying, and I want to deal with those. I'm glad I'm sober, so I can enjoy those emotions. But there are also those times when maybe things aren't going right for you. Maybe I'm upset because, I don't know, somebody did something to me that maybe hurt my feelings or whatever. I don't know. I can't pick and choose which emotions. I have to learn to deal with those emotions, and that's all what recovery is. See, recovery for me was not so much learning how to set down the bottle for good. Recovery was learning how to love myself again, love myself enough to where I can face those emotions, even now in sobriety, those good emotions and those bad emotions. And we see this all the time, especially with the folks that we try to work with and try to take through the steps of recovery. We see this a lot. People come in, they'll start doing good, and maybe somebody will do something that pisses them off. Maybe they'll say something that makes them mad. Those people, first and foremost, those people that piss you off or make you mad in early sobriety, one, they may not be aware. I have a good friend of mine, his sister, and he will gladly share this with you. His sister she used to look at him. She's not one of us. She has nothing to do with recovery. His sister would always say, well, you're just a drunk. You're never going to get better. I'm sure I probably had family members in my family tree, if you will, that probably said the same thing about me. And well, they're allowed to say that. But again, the actions speak louder than the words. My friend's sister now was like, damn, you turned it around. Hats off to you. And she gives them all the props in the world. You're going to have people that are going to say things and do things in your sobriety that are going to generate those bad emotions, the emotions that you just knee-jerk, you want to suppress. We don't get to pick and choose. What we do get to do is pick up the phone, call our sponsor. What we do get to do is pray and meditate. What we do get to do is do a thorough self-inventory of ourselves to see if maybe we've done something wrong. What we do get to do is experience life and life to its fullest through using whatever pathway you want to use to get clean and sober and to stay that way. You know, for me, it's incredible. I will see people, as I said, that, well, so-and-so said this, my uncle said this, or my mom said that, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, they're allowed to say those things. People are allowed to say what they want to say, and they're allowed to do what they want to do. You know, we can't control what other people do, say, and think. We are only responsible for our own actions. When people want to criticize you, whether they're in recovery or not, and believe it or not, you'll get more criticism from people within recovery, I think. When people want to criticize you, my first thought is, man, they've got something seriously wrong. Maybe they, too, are feeling those feelings of inadequacy and insufficiency and insecurities. And so they're wanting to criticize me. Maybe they're wanting to criticize you because they don't want to experience those emotions themselves. And that's the only way they know how to cope. Those people, man, I encourage them to find a sponsor or find a program or find something. I do pray for them, and it breaks my heart. But we're going to have people come in and out of our lives that they're not thinking like you and I are thinking. They may not be in recovery, and those are the people we have to understand. They have a right to their feelings. I have a right to my reaction and how I respond to things. We get clean and sober. We don't get perfect. We're going to feel the good emotions and the bad emotions. Our job, though, is to make sure that we don't allow those emotions that we're trying to get refamiliarized with. We've got to make sure those emotions that we maybe don't like feeling don't derail us from the larger goal. With that being said, I'm way over time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. There's you guys. Absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.